This is a message to all my supporters of this podcast. I'm introducing a new supporters program. You can contribute a small amount as a one-off payment to show your love for this podcast. Thank you in advance for all your contributions.
Hi, this is my fourth podcast. It's Mark Hayward here. Please follow me on Twitter on M_J_Hayward, Hayward. I'm wanting to talk today about how to achieve your goals. Now, I'm going to split it into two separate pieces. The first one is 5 steps to achieve your goals or to do well. Now, the first one, which I think lots of people have talked about, is before you start doing anything, before you start getting into the right behaviours, you have to clearly set your goals. So whether that is at your business, that is starting a business, shaping the business, finding the areas where you can do well in. Now, this is all about finding the goals that you want to achieve. So it could be objectives, it could be vision. All these things are all part of setting out what your goals need to be. Now, what we've found, and I think would be helpful for everyone, is just to recap that when you're setting your goals and you're creating a vision and objectives for the next 6 months, they should all be documented. They should all be documented, and they should all be put somewhere where they can be looked at and reviewed. I would advise on vision, once every 6 months is probably enough. On objectives, maybe every 3 months, every 6 months, depending. And I think you should be looking at them and reassessing what you've done and how you've achieved, what you've achieved, and the things that you've not done well and the things that you need to do better on. So I think it's always important to write these things down. So even in a year's time, you can then reflect on how much you've achieved in that 12 months. It's really important to do that as well. So because as we know, we're not comparing ourselves to other people. What we're doing is we're comparing ourselves from 12 months ago. And where you are now is really important if you're doing this over a number of years, because you can really see a huge progression from month 6 to year 1 to month 18 to year 2, etc. So the next thing is you need to identify and don't tolerate the things that are in your way of achieving your goals. So there's going to be obstacles, whether that's a competitor or whether it's a colleague, if it's in a more corporate career background. It might be a price point, whatever it is. You need to find out those things that are stopping you from achieving your goals. So the identification piece is very important, because you need to do some analysis to actually understand what these obstacles are. And so that takes a while, because you need to reflect on your business, on what you want to achieve, and what are those things that are making you not be successful or not be able to scale or not be able to get that promotion. Now, these might be people, there's any number of things. But the important point of this bit is, after you've identified is, don't accept them. You need to be able to feel that you can get round them, you can go through them, you can disrupt them, you can remove them. Because we've got to understand that things that are obstacles for you to achieve greatness and wherever you want to achieve are the things you have to remove. You have to move them away. And then when you start thinking about what they are and how you're going to maneuver them around, you then need to accurately diagnose the root cause of those problems. So that's then understanding. So what is the driving force for there being a price problem, or there being a potentially not getting promoted, or whatever it is? And that's the difference between this stage of identifying it, is then you're actually understanding the motivation behind the problem. So if that is a person, then it's understanding that root cause of them potentially stopping you? So is that a more senior person in the business who, for whatever reason, doesn't really appreciate what you're doing? And in a moderation meeting, he or she might be a blocker who might be very vocal and be able to say to your colleagues that he or she doesn't think you're able to really be that next level up that you're trying to achieve. So when you understand the root cause of the problems, then you can start manoeuvring them better. And then after you've diagnosed the root cause, it's then designing the way to get round those problems. So then it's the sort of planning stage. Now, I think most people don't plan enough. Now, when you're going into a project, how much planning do you do? I would like to do a lot. I would like to understand the requirements. I'd like to understand what the problems are, what the good things, what the bad things, what are the pitfalls, and then plan how you're going to achieve your desired goal with those problems in mind. And I think that sort of planning stage is critically important. And so if I was to advise anyone, just one piece of information, there's probably quite a few that I'd like to impart on people, but planning is a really important thing that I think people don't take enough care and attention about. So when you've diagnosed the problem, you come up with the root cause, you then work out the way to maneuver around them, whether that is a colleague that is blocking you for promotion and you found a way to interact with them, something they like to talk about, something they like doing. It's all manner of whatever the right thing for you at that time is, but it's being able to think about those people or those projects or those. Is it that you're on a project that's going down the pan and basically it's going to ruin your chances for promotion because the project isn't best suited to you, or the project doesn't have the right investment and you're doomed to failure? There could be any number of them. And so that might be that you need to remove yourself from the project. It might mean you need to get more people on the project to assist you on perhaps with the area that you're weaker on. You can try and learn how to improve that bit, but sometimes it's better and faster to bring someone in that can do that. So the design stage is critically important. And then the last stage of these 5 steps is, do what you need to do to push these plans to completion. So it's all well and good discussing them, reviewing them, reflecting, planning, but if you don't actually go out there and do it, it's been a complete waste of time. So I think it's critically important to do. You need to do stuff. You need to do what your next objective is. You need to do to complete your vision. You need to do to get that promotion, to turn up earlier, to work later, to be there when the discussions are being made, to go and have the drinks, to go and meet your mentor that is able to help you in these situations. You just need to do a lot more. Because there's so many people in this world who are just talk shops, who are all well and good on the great things that they'd love to do and what they'd like to do. I meet them all the time and they're like, well, I've got these great ideas, but I haven't done any of them because, I don't know, it's tricky, blah, 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 blah. Well, you haven't had that idea then. You haven't, because you're not doing it. You might have had the thought process around it, but you're not doing it. And therefore anyone else can do what you're doing, or you're saying you should do, and it's all great to come home and watch TV all night and get into the football or whatever it is and spend the evening on that. But the best people go home and then start another job, their side trick, their hobby that turns into a business. To use the American term, the side hustle. These are the people that are going to achieve greatness because they fashion out time to actually do what they are saying that they should do. Is it a podcast? Is it a side business? Is it working to make something? Be a producer, not a consumer. God, just if I can give another piece of advice to go with planning is just get out there and do something. Do something. Because there's so many people at talk shops. So I just, if you've got a great idea but you're too lazy to do anything about it, you just want to watch the football in the evening, well, you didn't have that idea. Someone else is going to come up with that idea and do it better. If you want to be able to do something great, then actually just do it. I'm fed up with people not having these great ideas and never actually getting out and doing it. So, okay, so that's my first part of this podcast. The next part is a slight difference. So it's how to achieve your goals and be great. You need to be able to leverage the money making system that we're in, so capitalism. Now, what I would say is these are the things that will help you achieve your goals, which are a little bit more generalized. They're not so much in the planning stage and the execution stage. They're things that will help you to be able to get a better system in place. So when you're going to execute, you've got these all around you, which mean that you're able to be successful. So the first thing I would say is you need to be able to think about technology and read about technology and read about future trends and study the future trends, because it's incredibly important to know what's coming up next. So if you're an investor, you would be critically important that you understand what the next big thing is going to be. Now, obviously, guesswork is not the answer. You can't just take a punt on something, or you can, but you're invariably going to lose money on it. It's worth doing some research. You need to be able to embrace the technology, whether that's your iPhone or your laptop or your whatever phone you've got, or your iPad, whatever that technology is, your Amazon Echo, whatever it is, to leverage the technology, to use these things. Gary Vee has talked a long time about the iPhone and this Android phone being the killer product which changes people's lives. And I totally agree how easy it is to do absolutely everything on that phone. So I would say that you've got to embrace technology. You can't, if you're going to be successful, be hugely successful, you can't be just thinking, oh, I'll do a fax. It's too slow. Technology moves so fast these days. You need to be on top of these of this technology and understand the future trends in your market. It might not even be in your market. Just reading, at the moment I'm reading about 2018 future trends. Now obviously I'm more in technology than anything else. It's fascinating to think about AR and VR and Bitcoin and blockchain and all these things that are which are going to change technology, but it's interesting to think about culture or hospitality or business or whatever it is. It just gives you a bit more of a rounded view. So I would say definitely think and read about future trends within your industry and in others. One way of being able to to improve your system is something we talked about before, is about solving meaningful problems. So first of all, you need to be able to be successful. You need to solve a problem, whether that's a business or that's exploiting a market with a new market. You've got to be able to solve a problem. That should be your starting point for all of these sorts of sales and marketing. Is what is the problem that is causing businesses to slow or not go as fast as they can. It's probably a better way of describing it. So you've got people like Elon Musk who wants to take everyone to Mars, colonize Mars. Now that is a big, meaningful problem because it interacts with so many different things. Everyone about space travel, but also about problems with the environment and what would happen if the sea rises and things. So I would say think as big as you can But some people are not Elon Musk. You have to appreciate that solving problems is more important than solving huge problems. So I would suggest going out there and being able to solve any problem that will exploit a market, an industry, and you'll be successful. So think about that, to always solve problems. And then the next thing is about specialization, super specialization. You need to be able to, once you've found your problem, you're then able to find the problem, resolve it, but it's being able to get that niche. Often things that make the best profitability are the things with the lowest, the smallest margins, because what you're doing is you're taking something that is very niche and then selling it to the mass market, because it catches people's attention, and therefore that is hugely exciting for people. So I would say always try and specialize in things, and then be able to exploit and scale after you've specialized. So another thing which would be helpful is to leverage your network. So there are people that you've worked with, people that you've, through any number of jobs, there's people that you've met and social events, there's people you met at weddings, there's people you met at network events. They're all there, and what you need to do is you need to think about your network and how to leverage them. So it's critical that you think about people that you know and see when there's people that you really connect with and you really feel there's something that you can have a good relationship with, then if they're in the right area, it's exciting to meet those people. And so leading on to the next point is you need to surround yourselves with smart and wealthy people. You need to be able to mix with a certain type of person who wants to either improve their lot, get better, and also want to be wealthy, because sometimes your school friends, they might have been your school friends for a lot of years, but they might not be the best for you because they don't have the same ambition that you do, and you need to be able to understand that and appreciate that, and also you just need sometimes the worst people in your life might be the negative people, which might be family members, which is equally as tough. And you sometimes need to push them out of your immediate life, because if they've been a negative influence on you, you're not going to be your best. You're not going to do the best. You're not going to achieve the best. So you need to make sure that those people are a little bit marginalized, so that when you meet those people that are going to propel you forward, they're going to make you think in a different way or make you think in a smarter way. These are the people that are going to make the biggest impact. So thinking about what Tim Ferriss says is, there are 5 people in your life that make the biggest impact on your life. You need to make them the best people that you can. So those 5 people, they need to be the best that they can for you to achieve achieve what you want to achieve. So just think about that. 5 people that make the biggest impact on your life. Are they the best for you?
We'll be back after a quick break.
Hi, I'm Alex, the host of X Health Show. Meet the future of healthcare. Think X-Men, that's X Health. Actual superheroes behind programming living cells to cure cancer once and for all. Tech that detects preterm delivery in seconds, brain-computer interface, or apps that employ AI to match you, your disease, with the best treatment. X Health Show brings to you visionaries who push the boundaries of healthcare from Switzerland, the heart of Europe and the most innovative country in the world. Let me introduce you to their startups. Head to X Health Show, meet the future of healthcare. Happy to greet you there.
So you then have to think about changing and improving your value. So how do you add value? Do you add it by a podcast, or do you add it by a business or a product or a tool? and you need to increase the value. You need to be able to add value in all of these situations. So you recognise what the problem is. Now, one of the next stages is you then now to add value to be able to be successful. So if you keep on adding value, you keep on you over deliver than what you say you're going to do. So it's crucial that you keep on thinking about adding value to your clients, to your podcast, whatever it is. And so then thinking about the potential downsides. So you need to be mainly a positive person. Positive people are the best in business because although they've got to have a sort of negative or a pragmatic twist upon it, I'd probably say pragmatic than a negative twist. But most of the most successful people are all positives, are half full of people rather than half empty. So I would say you need to go and just think about how you approach the mindset of how you approach these situations with the right mindset. So you've got to see the best. Now, you've got to see the best in our potential. So reading these future trends, you read them and you think, oh, actually, maybe I could do something with that. Maybe I could make an impact with that. So that's one way that you can do that because you see the potential in people, in things, in tools, in products, the trends. You're seeing them as opportunities rather than just saying, well, I know nothing about that. That won't be able to help me. I'm not going to be able to do anything with that. I'm going to stop thinking about that, which is a terribly negative way of approaching these situations. So always try and see the best in people, in things, with a realistic twist upon it. You got to be realistic. You don't want to throw all your hard-earned cash into someone that you think's great, but something in your mind's actually telling you that they're not. But you're like, oh, well, let's give them the benefit of the doubt. Well, if it's your hard-earned cash, you don't just give people the benefit of the doubt. You do research. You understand the market. You understand the person. You understand who they know, what's their credentials. But if you do all of that and they do stack up, then you think, well, actually, it's worth investing my money, my time, my effort, whatever it is, in that person, in that tool, in that product, in that service. And if you do, you're more likely to win because the people that aren't in the game won't win. It's only the people that are in the game will actually be successful. So get in the game, always see the positives, and only have a realistic outlook. So this is one that I'm sort of 50-50 on. So a lot of the entrepreneurs talk about get it done and get perfect later. So I come from a more professional background, which is slightly different because you've got quality, and if you're dealing in quality, that's what your brand and that's what your company is aiming for. So I get what entrepreneurs say, get things out there. For example, podcasts, for example, video content, which I'm doing on Twitter and on YouTube. That's very much get it out there, see what people think. If there's any feedback, great. So I would say that is a good way to get perfect later. But if you're actually delivering a service to someone, you don't want to deliver out crap. You need to be able to get the best that you're capable of doing. So sometimes there are things that you just go, well, actually, I'm going to delay it by a day and deliver what they want rather than delivering something substandard on time. So it's a double-edged sword, basically. There's lots of things in life where you need to do it fast, get it out there, get feedback, then and then redo it even better. But sometimes if you've got the quality part of your brand and part of your company, and you know what is perfect or what is right, then it's also terribly important to stop and take stock and get that right before you start passing on to clients. It's a real judgment call whether being 24 hours late will annoy the client or getting it right is the most important thing. So I would say it's a judgment call, and it's probably on the size of business, but depends if you're a small business who just deals in quality. So I would leave that to you, and I think only you know what the right answer to that is. And then my final point is keep going. Keep going. Produce services, produce tools, produce businesses, produce scale, produce people. You need to just get out there and start producing. Stop being a consumer, a passive consumer who does nothing. You need to get out there and do things. Get out there and execute. Do it. It will make you a better person by doing it, and keep on doing it. Something will come. Often something comes from nothing if you just keep on going at it. And when is the time to stop? Well, your time not to stop is probably when it's at its hardest, because often just before something hits or scales is when you're questioning whether it's going to work or not. The other side of the story is if you've been doing something for 5 years and you've not really hit it, then maybe you need to just take stock and think of something alternative, or get something else in your life which kind of supplements, whether it's financially or mentally or spiritually, whatever it is. But just keep going. Patience. You will get there. You will get to where you want to be if you're patient and you keep on going. Okay then, guys, that's my thoughts on how to achieve your goals. I hope you found that interesting. I'll just repeat my Twitter account. It's M_J_Hayward, HAYWARD, and I'm also on YouTube, so you could subscribe to my account. A lot of the stuff that I'm producing at the moment is video content, which is just my thoughts and on different subjects to do with business, technology, and coaching. So I welcome your thoughts and comments and likes and whatever on that. So please do add your views on that. It's most welcome. And so this is the end of number 4. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you've got any questions or comments on this, then please do add them when this is released. All right, thanks a lot.
News, laws, and regulations are changing by the day. We get it. It's hard to stay on top of it all. That's why ADP is here to guide you with up-to-the-minute compliance expertise to help you navigate these complex times, so you can pay your people accurately and on time, regardless of changes in legislation. When you rely on us for payroll and HR, you're trusting us to help you take care of your people. It's what we've been doing for over 70 years, and that's not about to change. ADP, HR talent, time, benefits, and payroll, informed by data and designed for people.